Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's TJ Lawn here. And today it's a bit of a different video. We'll talk face to face the camera, talk about more philosophy, music production, stuff like that. So today I want to talk about this idea that's going around the music production scene for a while now. It's the idea of quality through quantity. So I've heard this terms from people like Il Gates, Crywolf, Hyperbits, and a few others. And I'm all for it. I think it's a good mindset to have. So let's talk about what the old paradigms were first. So the old paradigms were quantity over quality, which would mean making a lot of shit and just playing a numbers game, trying to get as much stuff out there. And this doesn't really work. You need to, if you're going to make a lot of body of work, might as well be high quality as well. But yeah, don't just make shit for the sake of playing a numbers game, because it's just not going to work. People aren't going to care. And then the other old paradigm was quality over quantity, which did work for some people. And it still does work, in other industries. That's definitely where you want to place it. But for music production, if you're someone who isn't signing to labels yet or hasn't got a fan base and stuff like that, spending 2 months honing on one track and saying, this is my magnum opus, this is the track that's going to make me big, is not what you want to be doing. It's going to waste your time, and you're not going to learn very quickly. If you've ever played like RPG games like The Witcher or Warcraft or something, you know that in order to get higher levels, you have to get more experience points. So killing lots of stuff and grinding it out is how you level up. And I think music production is the same way. Every time you write and finish a track, you get like a bunch of experience, and eventually you'll level up. But if you just take 2 months to finish one track, it's like you'll level up, but it took you 2 months, rather than if you made a track every other day. So the new paradigm that's going around at the moment is this whole quality through quantity. And what this means is creating a huge body of work, continuous work, and getting good over time. But you also get gems along the way, every now and then. Like this, I don't know if you guys have this, but me and my friends will say like, oh yeah, every like 1 in 10 tracks I make are a banger. The other 9 are like shit or okay. But yeah, 1 in 10, like that's the magic number or something. Maybe it's like 1 in 5 for you. Maybe it's different. Maybe you never heard of that saying before. But generally, I find that to be true. And so how do we apply this quality through quantity idea? Well, one thing I picked up from Crywolf was the 30-day song a day challenge. So what you do here is you create demos every day within a 3 to 4 hour window. And a demo is something that exists between an 8-bar loop and a finished track. So it's not a loop, it's a full playback. You can play it back like a whole 5-minute track from start to finish. Maybe you haven't got the intro and the outro sorted yet, but you've got like the verses and the chorus and the body of it. You've got the drop and the build up and the bridge section and all that kind of stuff. So you can send that to friends and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And you actually can get some feedback being like, yeah, this is cool. It just obviously not produced, doesn't sound big. It's like, that's fine. I can make it sound big later. But the idea with this is that you can make a track every day doing this. And it only takes like 2 or 3 hours to make these demos, so it doesn't burn you out. And so I do these 30-day song a day challenges. And I end up writing, say, 30 tracks, and maybe only 5 or 6 of them are decent. And I send the entire 30 tracks to a few friends, and some of them will be like, this is mega. And there might be a track that I was like, I wasn't really feeling it. But they were like, yeah, this is mega, you should finish it. And then I'll put that over to the production stage, where then I can spend a few days working on that individual track. I mean, I'll put 10 to 20 more hours into that track to make it sound good, or do all the saturation and the mixing and compression and EQ, all the production that you need to do to make the track pop. And going back to the writing stage of the 30-day, I kind of like, my analogy I use for it is kind of like a dirty tap. And like, imagine you go into like an abandoned house and there's a bath and there's a tap, and you go to turn it on. And at first, nothing happens. Then it starts to like spit out and shake. And then some dirty water flows out. And then eventually clean water flows out. And that's how I kind of think about doing these 30-day challenges. Because what I usually find is like for the first 6 or 7 days, I'm writing garbage. I'm just like not getting my stride on. I'm not flowing with it. It's just creating like, stuff's not really that good. And then what happens is like, resistance drops away around like day 7 or 8, and then I'm just purely right brain, and it just purely becomes like flow state. And I just write these really interesting original pieces of music that are really weird and awesome. And then that might happen for like 3 days in a row. So I might like 3 tracks in a row that just all sound awesome. And then it might drain a bit. So I don't know if it's like a creative reservoir or something, but then that drains a bit. But I keep going. And then around day like 19, 20, I write another few really good tracks. And there might be 1 or 2 tracks in between that period of time as well. So what ends up happening is I end up with 5 or 6, sometimes even 8 tracks I can release within a 30-day period. And if you're someone who writes albums, you've got an album in a month, but as a demo. And then you can spend the next month or 2 engineering it, production, and stuff like that. So that's my interpretation of quality through quantity. So I have some tools you can get. I've put together a template. You might have already seen this template. I put it in the description of almost every video. But it's my Ableton template that I use for writing. It's like a blank canvas, basically. But it has all the routing and admin work done for you. So you can just drag your own sounds and samples in, and you're off to go. That saves me so much time, because like when I'm sitting down, I've got blank projects, like, right, I've got to make a channel for my kick, make a channel for my snare, make a channel for my bass line. It's like, no, all those channels are done. They're all got default sort of mixing parameters on them, and they're all like got -6 decibels on the channel for headroom and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to grab that template, you can. It's in the description below. You'd find it really useful if you don't have a template. And if you do have a template, I would look at it anyway, just so maybe you can get some ideas, see how what I'm doing. Maybe you can add it to your own. Maybe that'll help. Another thing I offer as well is if stuff like this interests you, like mindset stuff, I'm more than happy to have a call with you and see how we can work together. I'm doing 30-minute free consultation calls at the moment. There'll also be a link in the description. So that's all for today. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any feedback for me, any questions, do you want to see more videos like this, or should I just stick to doing technical stuff in the DAW? Who knows? Let me know. Cheers.